Welcome to Heart Sparks, 7 days to Radiant Heart. My name is Estelle Thompson. Let's start this morning sana cross-legged or on your knees. Let's have the palms face up as a gesture of receiving and opening to the week ahead, full on acceptance and stability. Finding your prana, finding your breath, your inhales ascending and your exhale descending. And so also finding your heart there and finding the light as if your heart was a sun this morning. And this is the title of our class today, Heart as Luminous. And as I settle here, I'll take my left hand to my heart, my back hand to the back of my heart, and I'll do the heart charging station as I breathe in and out the luminosity of my heart, the radiancy of my heart, the electromagnetic field of my heart, and I stoke it up. I breathe in and I breathe out. Taking a moment to really hear my breath, feel my breath passing in and passing out. My face is soft. I welcome permission this morning as I start the first day of 7-day sadhana. Love is not what we become, but who we already are. It's a great quote by Stephen Levine. And I'll place my hands at namaste. Press my hands in, really press them in as we fully officially enter our heart class. Welcome. Starting with the heart breath, palms facing down. Inhale full and exhale long. And we will do these heart breath with the arms. As mentioned in the intro video, there's a lot of arms action in the heart program because the heart is directly linked to your arms. And I want to be really clear here as you draw your arms up and down that my rhythm doesn't have to be your rhythm. So lifting the arms up fully here and exhaling them down. And we'll let that settle. We'll take the right fingertips down on the right side, reach the left arm up. And on each inhale, I'll find length in the side of my body. I'll keep my hips nice and heavy. On the inhale, I feel the pull upwards. And on the exhale, I send to the parts of my body that are tighter. I'll take my hand down. I'll let that settle and I'll go on the other side, reach the right arm up. If my neck is bothering me, I'll look down. And if not, I can look up, or here I'm just closing my eyes and accessing almost a bit of a twist as I breathe in my right lungs and I connect to the pulses of the breath throughout my body. And I'll go and do a little self-massage. A lot of this class really is about reuniting with mind and body and touch, all the ways we connect with ourselves. I like to give myself a little taps. I take fists and I'll go. It feels incredibly good to just give yourself a massage. And then I'll do that, and I go up to my kidneys as well, and I just give myself a little boost. And from here, I'll take my fingertips down, and I'll start a mini back bend. So as I mentioned before in the intro video, the breath does the back bend. It's not the physicality at all. So expanding through the chest with the inhales and the exhales. And I'll start some dynamic cat-cow stretch. enabling my fingers to dance forward and back as I sync my motions to my breath and create the flow of movement, breath, contracting and expanding. And I'll go back to my side stretch here, see if it's changed, and I'll cradle my head in to intensify the stretch a little bit. You don't have to go further at all. You're pulling up from the elbow bone, softening the jaw again, closing your eyes, moving from an inside place. Come back to center, and we'll go on the other side. Always balancing the two sides in yoga for steadiness and stability and balance in general. As I cradle my head in, it gives me a nice feeling of trust, kind of saying to ourselves, I got you. One more exhale down, and we'll move into a tabletop position to start our class with some cat-cow stretch. Come on your hands and knees, connect with your hands, your shin bones, unlock your toes, drop belly and round. We'll go inhale, press your hands, look up, and exhale, round, pull belly button in and up. Now I'm doing these quite fast, but I really beg of you to honor your body and where it wants to go. And just creating these undulations in the spine and awakening it. On the Hatha Asana, of course, so forehead down on your mat. This is a variation of child's pose. Your sits bones are nice and high on top of your knees, melting the heart down. I love to feel the puff of air behind my heart space here, my thoracic and my pectoral muscles as well. I'll prop up by way of an inhale from a tabletop position. I'll extend my right leg out. So the right hip is down, internally rotating that right thigh. And I'll pop my toes, I'll hop my toes to this side. And I'll actually look at my toe on that side. So again, into side stretching, opening the nadis on that side and making way for what wants to come through and out. So we'll come back, right knee down, extend the lift up. So make sure your thighs is nice and stable to then pop it over on the other side and look at your toe on this side. Keep the engagement in your palms as you connect with the rhythm of your inhale and your exhale. So bring that toe back. We'll come back to a tabletop. Curl your toes, hips to heel. And we'll go again in a mini back bend here, just accessing the proud chest, the stable proud chest. Broad through the collarbones, and my neck is nice and stable. And I'll start my heart breath as I reach my arms up all the way and float them down all the way. Always trying to slow things down. Even I work with this. I need to slow it down and really integrate all the pieces here into my movement practice. I can only do this if I slow it down. And so all the fragmented pieces, they become whole. I'll exhale, my palms face down. Again, do not worry if this is not the same rhythm as me. And I'll go tabletop. I can tap my feet here if the toe killer was a bit too much for you. Tap, tap, tap. And downward facing dog. Walk it out, left heel down, right heel down. The sits bones are nice and high. Softening my neck. And I'm engaging my hands so that my chest is nice and open. So I'm still broad through my collarbones, even though I'm upside down. And I find a stretch in the backs of my legs. I let the blood really rush through my head. And whichever perspective I am in, I still have this awareness of my luminous heart, of my radiant heart, my heart sparks. So walk forward slowly to the front. The feet are hip width, passive forward fold. I can bend my knees a lot, my tummy in between my thighs, grab my elbow bones, swaying forward, really getting some weight here forward. From here, I'll take my hands behind my heels. And this is something we will do throughout our 7 days to access a little bit more chest as we come up. So inhale up to a long spine. My hands kind of slide onto the back of my thighs and come back up and find my back bend here. My fingers are facing down. My shoulders are away from my ears and my elbow bones draw together. Let's come back to the heart charging station. I'm feeling my feet really sturdy. I can change my hands as I want to. And my teacher, Shivaray, she would say this, like, whichever hand wants to be on top, just let it be on top. If you don't feel like changing, then just don't change at all. Bring your hands in Anjali Mudra, Namaste, toes together. Reach your arms up, inhale, look up towards the sky. And exhale, swan dive all the way down. Inhale to a long spine, fingertips up your shin bones. Exhale, plant your hands, walk back, high plank. Staying here, finding the core of you. Noticing I'm looking forward, my neck is not yanked back at all. And I'm pulling my belly button up every exhale. Knees down, hips to heel. Right arm up as I reach it back. We'll do that again. Right arm up, hips forward, and reach it back. Motioning the hips with the arms again. And moving on to the other side. Left arm up, hips up. And exhale it down. Inhale. And down. 2 more, please. The face stays really soft as you do this. It's a core exercise as well. Hands to the hips, right foot forward, low lunge, right knee on top of the right heel. Lift the inner thighs, so really magnetize your thighs in. Arms alongside the body, palms face down. So I love this version for that open chest. I'll reach my arms up. So I'll do 1 inhale of that heart breath. I'll breathe into my hips as I elevate with my next inhale. And in the spirit of pumping blood, we'll start a little pump. This is exercise I love doing post jog, post running, post biking to get some blood into my joints there. And I'll come back down and interlace the fingers, palms touch, hips to heel as I exhale into a Hardha Hanuman, half splits. So this is a balance as well so make sure you are pulling your belly button in and up. With your inhale, you'll ride the wave of your breath forward and make way into a forward fold. As you step forward, feet hip width, hands behind, you'll elevate, dragging your hands behind your thighs. Find your flat back and come into a back bend from here. You're coming back upright. Palms together, toes touching, heels slightly apart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Palms together and exhale for a nice dive all the way down as you exhale. Inhale, long spine, fingertips up your shin bones. You can push your fingertips there on your shins, creating traction. Plant your palms And oops, I switch it back as I realized the first time I did this, I did my right. So now I'll do my left for balance. I'll get into my core before I start my sequence on the other side. So hips to heel, and we'll go right arm up as you sit. So inhale, hips, arm up as you swirl, making a big mandala shape with the right arm. And one more, reach your arms up and left now. So we'll go, keep the breath as support. The breath is boss, not your ego, but breath. So I did a bit less on that side, didn't I? So we'll go left knee forward, arms alongside the body, palms face down. And I'll reach my arms up and high as I start to elevate. This is a whole body motion here with the help of breath. Starting your pulses, right knee down and up, down and up. Notice that my arms are really at ear level here and my shoulders are away from my ears. So it's really common to do the arms up like this and kind of being all scrunched up, up to the neck. So watch for that as you keep pumping your joint and really lubricating. And we'll come back down, interlace your fingers, hips to heel, and find the balance and we'll ride the weight of your breath forward. Find the passive forward fold, taking your time, mindful and steady. Hands behind your shins. Elevate, 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 and come up. On this version, I interlace my fingers at the back there. So palms touched. And again, practicing that really proud chin. Come back to Tadasana. Come back to the light in your heart. So luminous. It's like you have an inner sun. Inner sun. Bring your hands to the hips. And we'll open up into a wide-legged forward fold into a temple pose, often called goddess as well. And I'll just go for my hips there. I'll sway left and right, and to create a vinyasa here, just a motion. And I'll end up being in my wide squat. So this is great, sending blood to your knees and heels. And I'll go back to my heart breath. So notice how my pelvis, I'm not sticking my butt out at all. And I'll start to do my rhythm here. And connecting to the prana of me, the light of me, the love of me. As I also find it helps me slow it down when I use my arms. So very calming. Hands to the hips. So we'll step forward in warrior one. So the back foot is 45-degree angle. And this time we'll recreate the heart breath and straighten your arms at the same time. Exhale it down as you find your lunge. Inhaling up. So I really wanted day one to be the base practice of all your other days. So a lot of these techniques we will revisit throughout the week so we may build on your understanding and knowledge and really deepen what you've learned so that it becomes more of an experience and less of a figuring out what's happening. Dancer's pose. I'll take my right arm out and I'll grab the inside of my right ankle. So notice how my shoulder is nice and open. I'm not doing a weird twist. So I'll reach my left arm out and I'll go little by little. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, kick. So again, that shoulder's not cramped up to my right ear, and I really follow what my body wants to, where my body wants to go. and back to center. Okay, I'm excited to the other side. Are you guys excited? So we'll go hands to the hips, bend the knees, open the left leg out on the other side this time, obviously. And we'll go and do our little dance, one side and then the other into our wide squat. And left and right and left and right, feeling bouncy and buoyant. I just turned the other way here because I was like, oh man, I want to see what's happening. Okay, so on this side, I'd love if we recreate the beginning of the practice. So come into your wide squat, right elbow on the right thigh, and I'll go into my little self massage. So often overlooked, these little pause that we get, and we just literally massage ourselves. So we'll go into a side stretch and we'll cradle the head. So again, find that rotation, that revolve in the left lung without losing the lunge in your legs. Reach the left arm up and we'll take a little breath, go back to our tripod, and we'll sit back down. And hands to the hips, sit and left elbow onto the thigh. But first, our little massage. I kind of like that I went back there so you can see what I'm doing, so it can inspire you in your own little massage. So we'll go right arm out, cradle. So almost you can, when you cradle, you can create a little neck pull here. It feels really good. See where there is tension in your body. We'll reach the right arm up, go back to our tripod, and now let's find warrior one. Hands to the hips, turn back, facing the front of your mirror. Well, my mirror, but facing the front of your mat, and we'll begin our sequence with the heart breath and the warrior one. So reach your arms up and down. Big in and down. One more. In on up. And exhale to release. And making our way to dancer's pose. Again, grabbing the inside, bending the left knee. I like to use my hands on my right hip to stabilize and then reach my right arm up. And I'll go little lifts as you inhale and little kick as you exhale. In to lift and exhale to kick and to come back down. So this is really not about performing. It's about finding the wholeness, the openness, the radiancy of you as I go into my heart charging station. And perhaps to check in on that as you go through the motions this week. To utilize the practice as a sun to replenish and nourish you. You are worthy whether you do a dancer's pose or not. I repeat, you are worthy whether you do a dancer's pose or not. One last breath in your heart charging station. Hands to the hips, and we'll come onto your tippy toes, a nice heel stretch here, and then your knees, and we'll go really slowly, all the way down. And this one is one of balance, so we'll start with a back bend, and we'll reach palms at the chest, and from here, the fingertips up to your forehead, and see how I manage to not fall, but if you do, that's completely fun, and doesn't matter. And we'll go on our backs to come into the floor sequence of this class. Bring your knees in and start some knee circles clockwise and counterclockwise. And see again how my chin is not obstructed there. So chin is in, but not so much that it's obstructing my airflow. Keeping the same stamina that I had in my standing sequence. I'll place my feet down and I'll go into some bridge motions here. So they're kind of like the heart breath, but we're including a bridge. So reach your arms up, hips up, and exhale down slowly as you exhale on the same count. So I was still on my 5. 5 for me is a good number, but perhaps for you it's 6, 7. Some yoga teachers go to up to 9. That's a lot, 9 a lot. But so find a count that works for you and work with that. So, and think of your breath as this link. Your breath is your love, and when there is, without love, kind of everything collapses. So utilizes, the breath to really find that integrated whole, to do this movement and let change arise and unfolds, as you flow. Always less rigidity, more fluidity. And letting that settle now. Bring your knees in. Interlace your fingers below the right knee. Extend the left leg out. Nice mound of that right foot here as I do a half Pavana Muktasana, it's called in Sanskrit. I'll pull my right thigh in on each exhale, and I'll go into a figure 4 here. So the right heel to the left thigh, shoelacing my hands behind my left thigh as I pull everything in. So my arms, my biceps and triceps are really engaged here. And then slowly, surely, I'll let go of the grip and I'll lower all the way down. So I end up in a funny looking pigeon pose, but I'll switch that and I'll go into a lotus. Now, this is not for everybody. If you just want to do a tree pose on your back, you're most welcome to. But if not, you're in a half lotus. The right foot is to the left hip crease. And find weight into that right knee. I'll take my right knee bend, left knee bend, extend both legs out, and interlace your fingers below the left knee as I pull the left thigh in. Now again, notice if your jaw is tense here. So keeping with really the air element. And even when you're back, every time we change perspective, to go back to your creative visualization. And the portal of today is the heart as luminous. So the sun hasn't moved. It's still there, even though we're on our backs now. So in your figure 4, you grab the right thigh, you pull the right thigh in. Gathering your tools here. Breath always and foremost. Today we have the light in your heart. We have our heart breath, the motion, slowing it down. And we'll come into our funny pigeon figure 4 and go into a half lotus. If your hips are really tight like mine are, you will look like this. But motioning that left knee to give in to gravity, to give in to the descending action of the exhale. And it's in the exhale that you find the release. We'll bring the left knee up and let's go in the twist here. So we'll take both knees in, and I decide to twist. You might not want that version. You'd like maybe just having both knees on top of one another. And I'll look the other way that I am twisting. Arms out wide, palms face down, and really connecting to the right side of my body. And staying with that inner landscape of my being, having the awareness of that dimension. So I'll twist on the other side. And essentially in this class, this is what we're manipulating. The electromagnetic field of your heart and the radiance about you, what's sparkly about you. And your breath is not just in your heart and in your lungs. It's in and all around you. It's the essence of you. It's what you carry with you and how you relate to other people in that relationship. A lot of the hard stuff is about lovers and being your own lover and being in a relationship with other. It is your social identity. Lots to be learned about that. Entering Shavasana here, your legs are out wide, at least mat width. Your arms away from the body and the palms is face up. And Shavasana is a great time to let go of your visualization. So when we work with images, symbols, metaphors, there comes a time that we need to let it go as much as we utilize as the rigor to come back to it as a home for us throughout the practice. In Shavasana, we let it go. We let it be a doorway to this bliss state that we're looking for. But we also let it go. So we gather our tool. We let the breath be the pathway to this present moment right here and now. We let the light in our heart be just that. And then we let it go. Breathing deeper, moving little by little. In a big stretch out and turning on one side. And coming up to a seat, no rush here, taking your time, getting ready for our 5 minutes meditation that's about to follow this class. So I like my little pillow. I'll get my sits bones on my pillow. And I'll go back to my heart charging station. Take my hand to my heart and the other hand to the back. Holding my heart and all that it contains. The sun and the moon, the light and the dark, the mystic and the mundane. And at that place, you come home in your heart. At the very core of you, you have a right to love and the right to be loved. Thank you so very much for your presence this morning. Day 1 is done. Woohoo! Take a deep breath in. And a long sigh out. Namaste.